What's up everyone, Steve again from RC Tanks and Trucks 24/7. If you are new to the channel, please consider subscribing. There's heaps of cool stuff, especially like this today. Now this is the Sen F-450 Super Dually. I've already done a video on this where I've unboxed it and put it through its paces. It's a fantastic truck. It's a crawler, it's a road car, it's an off-road car, you name it, do what you want with it. But in this series I'm going to start modding it. Now the first step is taking out the brushed 40 amp ESC. I'm going to be putting one of these guys in here. It's the Hobbywing Quicrun Fusion 2-in-1 ESC system. Now it's specifically for 1/10 scale crawlers. Now I'm going to be modding this one up. The first series for this, or the first video, is changing this. Now I'm going to be probably upgrading the diffs so I can lock them up and stuff like that. But first step, brushless. Oh yeah, you might also be noticing my fantastic jumper that I'm wearing, RC TNT. Now it's merch, it's new to the channel. If you go check out the link, it's down below. If you want to buy something, support the channel. That's really appreciated. Now there's heaps of colours, heaps of different designs, so go check it out if you want. Let's put this ESC in there. Now this is amazing. Now it's so quiet. Watch this. Watch how slow it runs. Pretty impressive. Now that's the lowest or the slowest speed it can go. Actually, you can go slower than that. And it's so damn quiet. Now for crawling, that's exactly what you want. Look at that. Awesome. And fully programmable and all that kind of good stuff. Anyway, I'm not going to waste your time too much. If you're interested, check out the video. Links for all this stuff is down below, but let's go. Alright, here is the awesome F-450 Super Dually from Sen. Now, you don't have to change this at all. But of course, me being me, I want to upgrade it. So the first step I want to do is upgrade from a brush system to this brushless setup. Now, this is the Quicrun Fusion from Hobbywing. It's a brushless system for a crawler. Now it's a 2-in-1 where it's got the motor there and the ESC. It's roughly the size of a 550 when you combine it all. And it's a 40 amp, 1200 kV motor, good for up to 3S, which is all I'm going to be running this anyway. Stock, it goes up to 3S anyway. So I'm going to do an upgrade series. First step, brushless system. Second step, lock the diffs and get a few parts from Sen themselves so we can slightly upgrade it into another beast. So you guys can come along that journey with me. So let's see how easy it is. It should be fairly simple. There's just 4 screws at the bottom holding it onto this plate there. So let's get the tools we need, which I believe is the 2mm, and we can undo these and have fun. So yeah, you don't need to do this, but you know, being an RC channel, I think it's right to show what you can do and upgrades and all that kind of stuff, and how many options there are to make your RC unique to your own if you really want to. So those 4 screws are undone. Now all we need to do is disconnect the motor wires, positive and negative, because it's only brush, it's got 2. And this guy should be able to just take out and start on the next step. Just get it, shimmy it that way a little bit. And there we go, there's your drive system. Pretty simple setup. Gearbox, transfer case, all that kind of good stuff. Here's your rear and front drive coupling, and that's all it is. So all we need to do, we've got to get that motor out, but quickly show underneath. If you haven't seen the unboxing video, I'll leave a link up for that as well. And also where you can go check this car out. You can see how long it is. So it's got 2 drive shafts. Got one here that connects to the transfer case, and obviously the one to the front differential. Take off this cover here that will expose the spur gear and the pinion gear. We can see what's underneath here. Now Tony from CCXRC has done a good video showing you how to change the ratio from slow to high to low. But I'll be leaving mine in low for crawling. But there we go there. Now you can see it's a bit rusty because we're running it in water, but metal pinion gear there. Pretty simple, nothing too fancy. Now all we need to do now, you've got 2 screws here. We need to undo this one up here, and there's 2 that hold the motor on, and once these are out, technically you should be able to just slide the motor out, and then we can slide our new brushless system in. That's how easy this is. Like literally, if I wasn't talking on the camera, you could get this out within 5 minutes. No worries whatsoever. There's a motor out. Look, 2 screws. If I show you the new system, now it's slightly longer than this one here, but when you consider that it's got an ESC on the top here, that's pretty interesting. So there's your brush one on your left, there's your new one on the right. So it's a 550. So as you can see, it's roughly the same. You know, when you consider it's actually a little bit longer, but when you consider the actual shaft and all that kind of stuff, it's not too bad. What would be good if the shaft it came out of this end, you can attach a fan to that, so that'll cool down that ESC as well, because that'll be interesting. That's the only limiting factor I can see with these setups. It's a heat buildup, but I'm sure the engineers have figured something out. So that's all there is. ESC's in there. Let's take off this pinion gear and we can put it on here, and that's it. Simple as that. So let's slide the motor back in there. And you might want to make sure that you are, obviously, pinion is going a little bit past the spur gear. You know, doesn't really matter, but as long as it doesn't go too far where it actually will make contact with the grub screw just on the pinion there. Fairly simple technique. You know, make sure you line up the holes on the motor now to give you the correct mounting holes, and basically you've got to turn the motor around until you can see those holes line up in those two slots just in there. So I'll get those in just now. Right, there we go. So once it's in, then you can slide it back and forth to get the correct mesh. Now a lot of you guys have seen this, but this might be new to a lot of people that haven't seen or don't know what the setup is on an RC car. So you've got your pinion and your spur gear, and you've got to make sure that this mesh is correct. Too hard, it'll give you too much resistance and melt. If this is plastic like it is, it'll melt this and cause issues. If it's too far away and it's just grabbing, it'll strip it as well, just like you can hear there. It'll just grab, cause issues. So you want to get it so it's perfect. A trick if you're new is just get a thin bit of paper in there and slide it in there like that, and then that'll be the correct mesh. Or like me, just you'll be able to feel it. You know, not too much resistance and not too sloppy and not too tight, and always the lube helps. One trick that I always have is I kind of do one up so I can just pivot it like that, and then all you need to do once the bottom one's tight, get it to where you think is good, which I think is right about there, and just lock it down. Now once that's all done, you can use Loctite, especially on the pinion, because that's always annoying if it comes loose, but you've got a bit of give. See how the pinion against the spur, it's got a little bit of give. That's good. That's what you want. Not too tight. You'll also be able to hear it. If you do it too tight, you hear the car making a really loud gear noise, and you know that the mesh is a bit too tight. But I'm happy with that. Now next up, we always got to lube her up. Now I'm going to use some Fast Eddy. This is Team Fast Eddy dog bone and transmission grease for RC cars. This stuff sticks like shit to a blanket, literally, and it's what you want. Now there was some from the factory, but I always like to put more on. Can never have enough, or you can, but you know what I mean. It's always good to have more than not enough, in my opinion, especially, you know, with this type of stuff. And it's especially if you're running in water and stuff like that. Look at that. Look how good quality this grease is. It's amazing. So I'll put that in there, lock it up. I'll get the cover, put the cover back on the housing here, then install it back in the car. The benefit of this system is the ESC is on top of the motor can, so we don't need the ESC anymore. Now that would be really handy if it was compact and cramped for space, but this one isn't, so it's not the best example of why you'd use this system. But anyway, we don't need this, so shimmy it up off the double-sided tape, get rid of it, and you can use it as a spare, that's for sure. It's always good to have more than one ESC, but now you have to make sure that we disconnect the ESC from the receiver. Remember the good old saying, 1 to turn and 2 to burn. So channel 2 we have to disconnect, and also reconnect the one from our new system. Okay, now I just installed one screw so I can hold the motor and gearbox in there while I'm, you know, plugging all the channels into the receiver. And make sure it's a rookie mistake that when you put your motor and transmission back in, but you forget to put your drive shaft back in. So make sure that's all in there before you tighten it. It's got one screw in there, holding it in there, but that's it. So channel 1, obviously your steering servo, channel 2, your throttle. I always remember when I was young, 1 to turn and 2 to burn. So that's all ready to go. Now that's your system, so as you can see, that's where the old ESC went. So perfectly, it's all ready to go. Now this unit should be set up from factory, but we'll plug it in and double check. You might notice that I've soldered on some Dean connectors, because all these lower powered, like cars I use, are just Deans. Higher power stuff, XT90 and stuff like that. But that's all ready to go. So all we need to do now is just put the nice power button in here. It's also got a little speaker in here as well, so you can hear it. So it's got an audible buzzer as well. So I might put the power button here, and that's where to go. Now you notice on the end here, it has a little jumper. Now that's for your program card that includes when you buy this. Now, like I said, the links are in the description down below. So basically what you want to do is you plug it in here and you are ready to go. But what I will do, I'll show you that in a second. I'll button up the bottom here, 3 more screws, lock it all up, and then we can turn it on for its first time and see where it goes. And also yeah, kind of make it a little bit neater, but as you can see, pretty cool. Alright, now I'm going to show you the program card. So what you need to do, you release this little rubber grommet or rubber seal that's in there, and you put the included cable into the end of this button. You can see now it's got negative, positive and signals, so we'll just put it all in how it is, and you just turn it on. A lot of you guys would have seen these before. It's just a program card, but it gives you access to all the parameters of the ESC. So first one here is your RPM throttle matching. It's enabled, and if you click the item button here, you can go through. LiPo cells, so cutoff, so it's got auto, so it's 2 to 3S, so you can run to 3S, so I've just got an auto. Cutoff is at intermediate, so I'm sure you can have like 3.8, 3.6 and 3.4, so intermediate sounds good. Thermal protection, I have it at 105 Celsius or 221 degrees Fahrenheit. Motor direction, counterclockwise. Back voltage, so it does go up to 7.4, so if you want to run a better, like a high volt servo, you can with this, but it's stuck at 6 volt, but if you want to change that, we can. And drag brake force, so it's currently at level 5, so that's pretty cool. So if you want to change it, you just click on the value and you can do that, and then you just save it. So we'll just leave it at level 5, okay, and that's it. 8 is drag brake rate, sorry. So that's at level 5, not too sure what these levels are, but you can change it or muck around with it if you want. And lastly, we have max reverse force. So it's currently at 100%. I don't really want to go max at reverse. I want to change it at 75. Click OK, done, and ready to go. So now we can turn it off, and then it'll all be saved. That's it. So that's what that's for. A little rubber grommet, put it back in, help with mitigate any water or dust ingress, and put this here, plug it up, and we'll show you how it looks. Now that's a perfect replacement. 40 amp brushless ESC and 40 amp brushed ESC, what you get in the kit, but just check how close that fitment is. Perfect. Controller is on. Let's sit on the Quicrun for the first time. There we go, hear the audible tone. So 6 volts currently running to the servo, but you can change it to 7.4. That's how the low speed running. That's really good. Now for crawling, that's exactly what you want. Bring that up to the how nice and quiet that is too. Look at that. That is some ridiculously slow running. Look at that, that's crazy. Now for a crawler, this is exactly what you want. Now that's no clickbait there. Let's have, so you can see the drive shaft's actually spinning, how slow that is. And this is not a censored motor. That is probably one of the slowest ESCs, well, the motors I've ever seen. That's crazy. And like I said, it's not censored. Pretty cool, eh? So all you crawler guys would know exactly what I'm talking about. For slow speed running, that's awesome. And listen to how quiet that is. Let's start out. And now with the program card, we put it to 75% reverse, so you can see. And also got drag brake, all that kind of cool stuff. But I'm not going to test this because I haven't got the dish lock, so it's not going to be the perfect crawler. But I'll put it on the ground in a sec, just give you a quick little rundown. But look how slow that is. Pretty cool. Alright, let's get the body on. But like I said, links for this in the description down below. Go check it out. But wow, it's cool. Really nice. So I'll just touch the throttle. It's pretty damn slow. Excellent for crawling. Now it's not going to be as fast as the original motor because it's a different turbine. But I don't want this to be fast. I just want it to be an awesome crawler. Something a little bit different, maybe to tow some, like a trailer. That kind of stuff. So when I get the dish lock, it'll be fantastic. But how slow that is, and it's so quiet. So it's got drag brake, all that kind of cool stuff. But it's It's really nice. Let's have a look at the back here. What do you guys think? Should I lock the front or the rear, or what? What's the best combo of this, do you reckon, guys? Looks no nice. Any of you guys have got us one of these? Let us know down below, because I'm interested to know. A lot of interest in this as well. Definitely from the videos we've been put out. A lot of YouTubers got it. Look how nice! It's just so controllable when it's so slow and torquey like that. But so this will be a build series, I guess. Well, fair bit of mods coming up. So this was number 1. We'll definitely do some more. I want to get some hop-ups to make it so it can crawl, because that's the downside when it's not locked. It'll just spin like that. So that's not ideal, but that's the next step. What do you reckon, Zach?
Yeah.
That's what happens. But Rome was built in a day, so we'll do one thing at a time. We'll bring it in. It's not going to be a speed demon. Still got the stock gearing. If you want to see how it's changed, go check out Tony's channel, CCXRC. He showed that with his, done a speed test as well, so go check that out if you want. But I think it's pretty cool. If you like it, please like the video. If you haven't, consider subscribing. Heaps of cool stuff like this and the next series of builds. And hope you like the video, guys. See you in the next one.